Hello, everyone. Today we're going to talk about the Encompass app for MexScore MBG sales. So, want to go through all the different buttons you see on your screen and kind of what they do for you. It may look like this, it may be slightly different, but the important ones should be on here. So, if you're running a sales territory, the most important button is going to be My Day. This is what's going to keep you organized throughout the day, and you can access pretty much everything from here. But I'll go through all these just so we're familiar with them. You can go to MexScore support if you have any questions. You click on it. It'll take you to support.mexscore.com. You can open a ticket, or if you have any questions, through Encompass. You won't be using that extremely often, but it is there. Check in. If you want to check into an account, it creates a check-in on the data. You can choose it from a customer or not. And then from there you can add images and mark what time you visit, what time you left. This is great for a tasting, or if you're supposed to be somewhere specifically at a certain time. Again, this isn't used often, but it is a feature available. New customer request. When you want to create a new account, this will take you to the MexScore website and directly to the new customer setup form. So if you visit a customer, you can have the customer fill this off of your handheld device, or you can fill it in yourself after the fact, but there is a direct link available on your mobile. Checkout is similar to check-in. Add invoice is a shortcut to create an order. Somebody calls with an order, you can go directly add invoice. Find the customer, and it'll take you directly to that invoice creation. Again, My Day, we'll look at that in a second. Customers, this takes you to a customer lookup, so you can sort by distance from where you're at. You can sort it by name. Or you can type in the field and search for customer name. And it should show you all the customers available. Warehouse, you won't be using that much if you're on the sales side. Dashboards, the idea is to take you to the sales dashboard with all your numbers. This takes you to your actual browser. So from here, you're able to see quite a few things on the sales dashboard, which is definitely important to get familiar with. It has your sales week to date, year to date, month to date, by brand, by different metrics here. It also shows your My Day order. It shows what was shorted by the warehouse that week, what was shorted in deliveries by that week, meaning a customer a rep put in an order, the driver delivered it, and it was refused. And there's a bunch of orders, different reasons. So it's important to be familiar with all these things on the dashboard. But there's other trainings on this dashboard, sales dashboard, but very important to be familiar with it. And here's a quick link to it. Sales execution has a few different options as well. All of the open tasks, you can take a survey from here, look at knowledge channel, and user directory, right? So you can find a user and look up their email, phone number, whether it's office or sales reps. There's eChat. We can communicate with office staff or with other sales reps. And call manager function right now is disabled, but that's available there too. And control panel, this shows what, under complete settings, what locations you have currently on your screen, on your mobile. There's a few other settings here, but it's important that you have the mexscore.encompass8.com and the correct location set. And if you're in sales, you want to make sure you have the Salesforce selected here. This drives you to the right dashboard. Okay, now let's go to the important one, which is My Day. This is where you should live. So we are going to do a test here for, let's say tomorrow would be Tuesday. And it shows that there is 18 stops on the route for tomorrow. Looks like an out-of-town route. Several stops here. And it says drive and service time about 4.5 hours to complete it all. It may be more, maybe less. And 285 miles. So this is a pretty big run. And it's spacing it out here by Encompass figures how much time it takes to go from one stop to another. And that can be modified. So first stop of the day, Scott's Shot and Spirits. Shows the address here, the hours, and the contact. You go in here, and then you have your I got a pop-up said license is expired. That can be updated, but I'll click back out. And it says you can create a sales invoice, and there's a suggested delivery service Windows survey, which you can click on and go through. And we'll go through that in a second. And then you have a bunch of options here on the menu. But before I do that, I'll go back to the My Day here. There's a few other different views. You can click up here. You can see where the stops are. So it looks like this day you start at Wichita Falls, kind of hit a few accounts here, and work the way back into Fort Worth. So it looks doable, a lot of miles, but definitely doable. And here's the secondary view of the same stops, but on a different view. This has kind of more of a calendar agenda type view, and this kind of shows the different tasks in each of these. Both work fine, but let's go with this one, right? So let's go to Scott's Liquor and work our way down for the day. So it's suggesting we arrive here a little after 8:30, assuming the owner's there. Maybe the store's not open, but the owner likes to get there early, so it's a good place for first stop. But before that, I'm going to click here on menu, this little called the hamburger, and you can select here, look at the different options on this menu. Data insights, which is pretty interesting. Again, this has to do with overall, but you have different options here on data insights. So sales cube, this allows you to run a report of whatever you want. So let's say, okay, what are the top liquor store in Fort Worth, Texas? Let's see what it pops up. I haven't run this before, so we're doing it together. And let's see what it runs. But, and you can run within your, okay, so it's saying by sales volume, by revenue, by units. Good question, right? So I'll click on sales volume. It's kind of a little AI little function it has that's pretty cool. And let's say once it gives me that, I can say, hey, what's the best-selling vodka or whatever. Okay, give me no data. But I was testing earlier, top 5 vodka accounts in Houston, Texas. I'll just put Houston. Sometimes you have to prompt the AI slightly different ways, but usually you can get the results. Now, there's plenty of ways to run different comparison reports, but this is another way. Fill entire period. Maybe because this route isn't assigned to, let's do Wichita Falls. Or so anyways, we were running some earlier. I was getting some results. But again, with this AI, you need to prompt it different ways and try it out. But it's a cool tool. Unfortunately, we got to move on. A lot of stuff to go through. So print salesman receipts. You don't really need that. You're not printing receipts for the liquor stores. Customers, again, takes you to all the customers. Sort by name, by distance. Click back here. Tasks, all the open tasks. Users, knowledge, we went through these, and then dashboards, backorder management, it'll pop up any back orders on here. So a few different features here, or you can sync and get the latest data. You can also click here, and you want to see tomorrow's My Day, click on 13th, and it'll pop up and so forth. You can kind of see the future there. Okay, going back to My Day, going back to Tuesday, perfect. Okay, so now once I'm in Scott's, okay, so it wants me to create a sales invoice. But before that, I'm going to go through all the everything else on here. Okay, address, you can click on here and it'll take you to Google Maps. If you click on the email address tied to Doug Smith, it'll take you to email. You can create an email. It's a general market account for Texas. These are the opening hours. Cool. I guess it can go every day of the week. Cool. DSD link is where they can go in on a website and pay online. So it'll show all their open invoices, and they can run it that way. But Paylink's kind of cool. They can see it, the current open invoice. You select it and then tap to pay. They can literally tap and pay it. So pretty cool stuff there. You can generate a payment right then and there. So what else we got here? We have edit event. So you can say, okay, I'm actually need to be there at 9:30, or let's say tomorrow. I actually need to. The guy called me and he won't be there till 9. So you can change the time, so on and so forth. And you can edit that event. So let's go here. This shows their open invoices. This guy's actually owed a credit. So good to know. If he owes any money, it'll pop up right here. Let's go to the next one. This is going to be the open invoice. Right now, there's an invoice. Nobody's added any cases to it. So, but these are all the open invoices. And actually, I can click here, and it gives me the actual the name of it. Historical invoices. So here you can see everything he's ordered in the past. I guess quite a few orders. You can see, okay, 420 view PDF. And you can see the invoice and everything is on there and exactly what he got. Pretty cool. On 5/4, did he get delivered? Click on it. This is what he got. Click on the view PDF. And you see a signature. Okay, so that got delivered. Somebody signed for it. Cool. You can kind of go down here and see that. You can sort it. You can do all kinds of stuff. Pre-orders. You can create a pre-order if you'd like, but or run a pre-order report. Not used very much. You can add an invoice. Again, you're just creating an invoice and select the delivery day. Surveys, you can take a survey for him. There's plenty to select from, but if your manager asks to create a survey, this is where you would go. Assets, so let's say there's a display piece you want to put on there. You can place an asset and it'll track it, some kind of, HD TV that has this showing the product, whatever, and you need to return it. You need to get it back eventually. Click on assets. Again, the manager may need to set this up, but it's something we do. Reports. Yeah, so here you can really run any kind of report you want on it. So market analysis here, 10 customers, the 10 closest customers. Create report, and kind of shows what everybody around this store is buying. So the number one item is Comal vodka, bought 3 cases a month. Then Liberty County vodka, bought a case a month. Frio beer, so on and so forth. You can see what customers in that area are buying. So you can tell, hey, your customer, hey, pretty much every liquor store around you is buying it, so you should probably carry it. You can change these, you can look at other types of accounts. That's fine too. You can go to sales reports. So here you can build a basic sales report. So let's say cases. You know, by supplier, not really, but still by product. And yeah, let's just do a product for just Scott Shots, create report. So here we can do is running 2 years of sales for this customer. So it'll run every product, and you can kind of see it in a report here. So you can see Liberty County Vodka, they're buying more than they used to, up 120%, and so on and so forth with all these products. You can also do it for all customers, or versus all the independents in the area. So, and then you can go to actually saved reports. So if you have a saved report, you can find it through here. It's kind of the reporting section, which is right here. Product inquiry. You can search any product information there. Shopping cart's cool. Like you can go add a product and say, let's say this melon colada. They want to order it, right? So let's select melon colada, but they don't have money. So let's add to shopping cart and put on memo. Interested, but will buy next week. Please remind John. Okay, cool. So that'll be there next week. When you come by, and it says shopping cart, so you just add that to his order. Take inventory. You can take the full inventory of the account pretty easily. And that way you can kind of track what he's selling, what he needs, and there's a nice value to that. Replenish, that's really for if they have a lot of product in the back and you want to keep track of the inventory in the back versus inventory on the shelf. Definitely more complicated merchandising function, but that's available. And there's a replenish report for that. Inventory reports, so if every week you keep the inventory, you manually key in the inventory of the customer, you can have an inventory report here that shows what they have on hand, and you kind of can manage that. Another cool tool is capture retail pricing, so you can find a product and say, okay, this agave is $29.99, and every time you're in there, you can log a few different products and see what it is. So let's say White Wolf Vodka here, his cost is $12.99. So let's say if he marks it up 15%, which is low, oops, not 15%, he'd sell for $15.28. But let's do 20. It's probably fair for low-end vodka. So 20%, he'd be at $16.24. Let's be nice and bump it up to $16.99. Okay, so that gives him 24%. So let's say he has it at $19.99. You can suggest $16.99, or if he just has it at $16.99, just type it in here, boom, right? Oops. And then I guess you can see he's making 71% margin in this example. So this maybe should be like $8.99. But anyways, you can have fun with this, but anyways, it's important to know the retail, correct retail for customers. There can also be retailer label. You're not really printing labels. Promotions calendar. These can be made available for, let's say you run weekly promotions. It's more for a beer distributor, but it can happen. Tasks. So you can create a task for yourself or for subordinates. Default, pitch closeouts. That's right. Assign to a user, whoever you want, and then so on and so forth. So you can create tasks in this area. Accounts receivable, see how much money they owe. Again, they're owed a credit, so they don't owe money. What else we got? We have customer users. These are the store employees, the key people. So it looks like Doug here is the person there. But let's say there's a new manager or you've never met the owner. So you have the owner now. So let's say the owner is Scott Senior. Let's call him Scott Senior. or whatever. Put his email, phone, job title, owner. The primary contact. Let's go, and then boom, right? Now you have a second user contact for the account, and that way, they'll be able to be seen at accounts receivable, they'll be able to be seen across the company, and live on here forever till let's say Doug gets fired. Then you can, let him know that it's let the office know he's no longer with us. Then customer notes. These are notes that live on here forever. So let's say this customer loves buying closeout. Boom. Right, that's going to live on there forever until you delete it. And then maybe said new manager is big fan of sweet red wine. So anyway, whoever, you can have this for yourself or for any future reps that have this account, this will live on here. Back order management. Again, if there's back orders, you can see what's on back order. It's going to be rare you see this. And then documents. Here you can add pictures. Let's say you build a really nice display. You went through all the work, might as well take a picture, right? And it'll live on the customer forever. Or shelf display or pricing or whatever you want to do. You can review the images in the future and they'll live on the customer forever. So all pretty important. And turn by turn is, you need to get to this account, click on turn by turn and it'll take you to Google Maps. So those are all the little functions here they're pretty important to know, good to know, a lot of really cool tools. Okay, when you have a sales invoice, you want to create an order, a sales invoice, go sales invoice, add on scheduled invoice, route to next scheduled delivery. That's going to be the option 99% time. If you want to request a specific date, you can do that as well. All right. So these are all the products that's ever been ordered by the customer. Makes it pretty easy. And actually usually it sorts it in order of best to worst seller, right? So you can actually go walk the shelves and put the inventory in all these items. So let's say you have 2 bottles left of this. Let's say so that means you have 60 days of inventory. Let's say you have 5 bottles of this product. It's 150 days worth of inventory. Let's say you have 1 bottle here. Oops. That keeps it low inventory. Now it's doing this based on average sales in the order. So it's kind of a little AI thing or a little formula it does. Based on how often they're ordering, their cadence, it assumes it has about 118 days left. So they got a pretty big order last time, probably. But then again, if you don't type in the inventory, it has no idea. Okay. Delivery 175, you can click on market analysis and see what everybody else around the other 10 customers around this area are buying. So, K Liquor, there's 84 cases, 84 units, bottles, I guess it is. And it's 0.7 miles away. Cool, right? Good to know. Super 9 Liquor doesn't have any. So it's just an opportunity. So this market analysis button is kind of cool. But based on this, let's say you have 0 in stock. Or let's do 1. It's going to give you about 30-day supply. So then you can go to the customer and say, hey, let's give you 2 cases. It'll bring you to about 1,000 days of inventory, which is great. And it kind of does a little math here. Case price for customer. Here's the UPCs. Last date purchase was on 3/18, and you paid $69. last time. So maybe that's a little high. Let's cut it back to, let's just do three. Let's do one case. Here's, you can override to a different promotion. Let's do level 2. Some will require manager approval. You guys should know how that works, but yeah, so this gives you about 750 days of inventory. Oh, it's agave boom. Okay, I thought that was high-end vodka. So again, let me log back in here. But again, it's good to get familiar with all these tools and see what they do and actually use them. They're really cool, very useful things, and I think you'll see a big benefit. Okay, once you put in the inventory, you can show your customer, hey, you're low on all these items here, so please order a case of each or whatever. And it's very easy to go with a retailer and say, look, these items you're out of stock on. Let's say you're out of stock on, put 0 here. Let's put 0 here. Let's put 0 here. Let's put inventory 1 here. So when you're walking the shelves, it takes no time to do this, right? And then when you're talking to the retailer, first of all, you look pretty professional. But here it shows all the out of stock items you have. Okay. And then it shows all the items you're low on inventory. So retail stock, retail low inventory. Well, I guess they all popped up here under low inventory. Either way, you can go through here, and then the case orders go under the purchase side. So 1 case and 3 bottles. And then that just pops up on the invoice, right? So you kind of go through this with a customer, and then boom, you have your order on there. If you need to add another item that's never ordered before, type in the Ramon, and then search for the product. Add product. Sorry, you go to add product. I'm sorry, for a product they haven't bought before. Don Ramon, and it'll pop all the Ramon. Or you can do it to say, hey, do you have any mezcals? You can type in mezcal. Right. And all the mezcals pop up with the inventory, which is cases and bottles. So 3 cases, 25 bottles, and everything on here, right? And then, okay, well, what's the price? You can click on here, full price. It's a B level at 30, A level at 29 a bottle. And all the information on here, who the brand manager is, everything. On hand inventory 66, all that. So again, from your invoice, you can go through all these things. Again, we were in add our product earlier, but again, so on the items we created an invoice here, total of 2 cases and 3 bottles, $187. This is a demo, so let me fix this before. So I'd have to go in and delete it. So let's go edit this invoice. You can also add images if you'd like, and all that to here. But and you can have an invoice memo. Most likely the customer will see this invoice memo, so make sure that it's customer facing as well as internal. But so yeah. So then once I create an invoice, completed, boom, right? Turns blue. It wants me to do this delivery survey. Okay, let's click on it, whatever. Shouldn't take me long, right? Is this customer open Monday through Saturday? Oh, hold on. 9 to 7? Yes. And then you're done, right? But if you click no, then you have another option. Okay, type in the exact delivery receiving instructions. So the point of this, I guess, is so the warehouse knows the delivery hours, and that way they get the right service. Let's go. Yes, it's open 9 to 7 p.m. Continue. Completed. Boom. Oh, so now my tasks turned blue. Good stuff. So I'm done with that. So I got completed one. I got 17 to go. Sold today 22 cases and 5 bottles. I guess probably some phone orders came through. That's great. Total sales for the day, $2,239. So I already did this gray one, right? Scott's done. Check mark. Go here. My gray one's done. Or I go to this view, and I see all 3 tests have been turned blue, and I can see these orders already. So it looks like Cheers sent an order 5 cases. Maybe they called it in yesterday, whatever. So I may want to stop in and add on to it. That's probably the best idea. Or I can go in and, or I could, maybe they don't need anything else. So I might not have to stop by, but that's, but it shows everything, all the activity here, and you can kind of judge it through that. So the My Day, if you live here, it just keeps you organized. You know exactly what you need to do. You don't have to plan. You don't have to say, hey, I don't really have to go here. I don't have to plan. It's just get in your car. You do your driving. You should be able to knock these stops off. These are really close together, so you can hit about 2 an hour. That's probably doable, right? I mean, 18 stops sounds like a lot, but you hit 2 an hour. Boom, 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 boom. Get started a little early. I mean, it's a long out-of-town run, but you can be done by 6, 7 o'clock at night. Maybe some of these are quick because the owner's not there, but it is something that keeps you organized, right? You can also go in and change them to another day. You can drag it and move it down. You can right click. There's quite a few things you can do from these views and update this as you go. And if you go to Wednesday, you can add some extra stops for yourself. So customer interaction. So I want to go see Da Vinci. I want to do a pre-sale stop there tomorrow. I can add that to my day for tomorrow myself, right? So I don't know what time of day I put him at, but there he is, 11 p.m. Maybe a little late, but let's go in here, edit event. How about we just see him at 11:30 a.m. How's that? A lot better. Okay. So now I go back here, Da Vinci, restaurant. It should show up at yep, there you go, 11:30 a.m. So anyway, yeah. So this is kind of my day, and this is, you really have to learn to play with all this stuff and see the value. And the reality is, the more you know, the more efficient you're going to be. All these little tools help you be efficient, know what you're doing, and when a customer sees this and manager sees this, they get pretty impressed that you really have full knowledge, understanding, and mastery of the technology here that it offers. I mean, all these little features were added for a reason. They're to help you, and you may not need all of them, or might only use 10% of them, but knowing they're there and in a pinch when they come in handy, you'll definitely be happy you did. And once you're done entering an order, and you just want to update, click sync, and you can, and then everything gets uploaded to the system, and all the orders are received by the warehouse, and yeah, you're good to go. So make sure you sync. Is ideally every time you leave a customer, but definitely 3 or 4 times per day is a good idea. And definitely once you're done submitting orders for the day, you want to make sure you sync your orders, especially before the cutoff. That way everything goes through. But yeah, so I just wanted to thank everyone. Any questions, feel free to reach out to us. But we're here to help, and thanks again for your time.